Thank you, my friend, Mr. Chairman. And we're glad that you've recovered from your COVID that you had over the holidays. We're glad to see you in person. And as it relates to your announced departure at the end of the year, you've had a lot of fine chapters in your life, and we know that this is not the last one. You've got a great book, and we're all proud to be your friend and know that you've got future chapters ahead of you. I want to thank our witnesses for appearing before the subcommittee to provide their testimony today. Welcome back, Chairman Glick. It's nice to have you here again, and special welcome to the Deputy Secretary Turk to your first Energy and Commerce hearing. We look forward to working closely with you in your new role at DOE. You know, I know that many of us are deeply concerned about the direction of our country under this president's leadership. We all saw the economic report last week. Consumer prices and inflation rose 7% in December, highest rate in 40 years. We've got labor shortages in every sector, supply chain disruptions impacting the entire economy. Energy prices are soaring to 7-year high, and American families indeed are suffering. This administration's fossil fuel agenda is directly contributing, I believe, to record high gas prices and soaring utility bills as winter heating season is now upon us. The administration's response to surging inflation and sky-high energy bills is to shut down critical pipelines like Keystone XL about a year ago, and for Michigan, potentially Line 5, a ban on drilling on federal lands, forcing Americans to buy more expensive and less reliable electric cars and appliances. They're not really solutions. 2 weeks ago, a brutal winter storm hit the East Coast. 500,000 folks lost their electricity. Hundreds of drivers were stranded, maybe thousands on freezing roads overnight. Just think what would have happened. Think of the people who could have died if all the cars were electric and people couldn't use natural gas to heat and cook. If it's not already clear to everyone we rely on fossil fuels, their day is not over. Simply put, the Fantasyland Green New Deal agenda of offshore wind farms, rooftop solar, and electric batteries are not going to cut it. The topic of this hearing is completely off base, out of touch with the realities facing America today. We need real leadership from the administration and the Democratic majority. America is facing an economic crisis, an energy crisis, and the majority has yet to schedule a legislative hearing on a bill to increase energy prices further and eliminate fossil fuels by shutting down pipelines. The bill today that we're going to be talking about is a sweeping power grab, preempting states and local jurisdictions from regulating all types of energy infrastructure, from the oil and natural gas wells to the gas stations where Americans fill up to the appliances in their homes. This bill would dramatically expand FERC, transforming a relatively tiny agency into a behemoth with regulatory powers over America's energy system. We're not just talking about interstate pipelines and the bulk power system that crosses state lines. This bill would impose new federal taxes, fees, regulations on all energy in the country. Americans are not asking for that bill. So with the unanimous consent, I'd like to enter into the record a letter from state regulators and the people who deliver energy to homes and businesses. Without objection, I would hope. The letters lay out specific concerns with the legislation, concerns that I believe are shared by many members of this committee on both sides of the aisle. Mr. Chairman, respectively, I would argue that we should focus our efforts on a bipartisan bill, H.R. 3078, the Pipeline and LNG Facility Cybersecurity Preparedness Act. We reintroduced this bill in response to the Colonial Pipeline attack last year. We still have important work to do to get the bill across the finish line. In October of last year, Republicans on this committee wrote to the Secretary Granholm to conduct oversight of DOE's handling of the energy crisis. We also wrote to Chairman Pallone requesting a hearing to investigate how the administration's actions are contributing to energy price increases. Everyone knows energy prices are the #1 issue right now, the highest prices in 7 years, yet the majority has not scheduled a hearing. I would use today's hearing to confront the real issues facing Americans. What is the administration doing to slow inflation and lower gas prices? Why is the president asking Russia and OPEC to pump more oil while putting American energy workers out of a job? And why is FERC delaying permitting decisions on critical natural gas pipelines that would improve grid reliability and lower utility bills for every American? Those are the questions on the minds of Americans. They deserve the attention of the committee. And with that, I yield back the balance of my time.